Y'all stick around to the end and I'll explain to you what this little tool right here is. To new gardeners, this right here is a precious, precious little tool. Hello everybody, welcome back to Burnt Church. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's a beautiful day here. The sun's out and it was cold this morning, but it's warmed up. It's probably in the 60s out there now. Feels real good. It's making me want to get in the garden, and that's what this video is going to be about. We're going to go out here and plant some sugar daddy. Them peas there, you can eat the pod and all on. And that's the point of these peas this year. We had a great harvest of peas last year, and we canned a bunch of them, and we still got a lot of peas left. So our focus is not so much on a lot of peas this year, which we are going to try to grow some to eat. And we're running a little late. We like to get our peas out here real early, and I've been up in the air with it whether or not I was even going to plant any. Well, I've decided I want some, and I don't think it's too late. I think we still got time. And the peas that we growed last year, the pod really wasn't edible. On these sugar daddy peas, you can eat the pod and all. Now, once it gets really big, I don't like the pods, but you know, as they're growing up until they start filling out, they're good on these sugar daddies. I'm not really doing these to try to can a bunch of them. The way things look, there's a massive struggle coming for this country, and we want to stay in practice on growing things to where whenever it comes time that we're able to feed our family here. That's the most important role that a man can play in the family, is to be able to feed them and to protect them. I want to be able to feed my family and to be able to protect them if anything ever does go bad wrong. If you don't never have to be able to raise something, just being able to raise it is so much better than the things that you buy at the grocery store. In my opinion, you can put these on your plate, and these are like filet mignon compared to the ones that you'll get at the grocery store. So even if you never have to be able to raise it, it's good just to be able to. And I'm going to show you how to do this pretty much with some basic tools. We will use the garden tiller a little bit, but other than that, if you don't have a garden tiller, don't let that stop you. I've made a video the other day. I'll try to put a card in here of it, and it's a beginner's guide to gardening. I explain it in that, how simple it is, that you can garden with just 2 tools is all you would have to garden. And you really wouldn't even have to have them, but those 2 tools, they would make it a lot easier. So y'all come along out here with me. We'll try to keep this video as short as we can, because I want everybody to be able to raise food. The struggles that we may have coming, if all my neighbors, if all of them can raise big gardens, it's a benefit to me and my family. Because if they're raising gardens and feeding themselves, they're not wanting what you have. And if you have a shortfall, maybe they can loan you some food. That's the way a community needs to work. We got our strawberries down through here next to our fence. Well, our garden has got an offset in it. Right here at the electric fence box, it kind of turns back in there to the left. So I really can't get in there to the left to do a lot of plowing with the tractor. So we're working it up with the tiller. And from right here over to the left towards the tiller, that's going to be the area that we're going to put our peas at. We're going to run the tiller through here one more time just to kind of turn it under just a little bit more. It's pretty good shape right now, but I think we can get it just a little bit better. We gotta go down to the barn to get our fertilizer. Y'all wanna say hello to the chickens? Come here, Ralphie. Y'all remember Ralph? There's Ralph. I don't know what his girlfriend's name is there, but his name's Ralph. And he's a bully. When I get over in there, he tries to whip me. We're not going to be using the cub, not on this. It's just a little bitty spot that we're doing. If we was doing a big field, I'd lay them off with that cub, but we'll use the push plow. Little cub still resting there. Well, I already had a bucket down here. Oh well, I got 2 buckets down here now. Peas don't take a lot of fertilizer. That ought to be plenty. This here's a push plow. I would highly recommend one of these plows. If you can find one, and if you can afford one, they're a great help in a garden. And you can buy different attachments to go on here, and I like all of them. I've got a scratcher, and I've got a turning plow. I've got 3 of these. That way I don't have to change the plows around, and I use all 3 of them. Now they're real handy, but if you don't have one, that's all right too. You can still do it without one. You can use a hoe. We've got our row laid off right down through there. We're going to do this 1 row at a time. I don't know how many seeds I'm going to have, and I don't want to get too much row made and then not have enough seeds for them. But now then, we're ready to put the fertilizer in here. So all you'll want to do is just get a handful of fertilizer and just follow the row. It should look about like that right there once you get your fertilizer in it. Now that we've got the fertilizer in it, we're ready to run over it again with the push plow just to mix the fertilizer in. I don't like my seed laying right on all that fertilizer. Just like that right there. It just mixes the fertilizer in the soil just a little bit. We're planting the sugar daddy. They're getting old, so we needed to get them planted. The way I do peas is I put them pretty close together, about 2 or 3 inches apart. You can always pull up the ones you don't need. I can't stand to get just a few peas up in a row, so I try to put them as close as I can, if I have enough seeds. You can see here how close I've got them. I've got them about every 2 to 3 inches apart. Right here, there's one, and there's one. We're just about done with this. Once you get your seeds thrown in your row, you're ready to start covering them up. Now I like my peas to be covered about 1 inch. Usually these peas, you're doing them when it's still pretty cold weather. And I find that they do better for me if I get them about 1 inch deep. If you don't get them deep enough around here, the rain will wash the soil off of them, and then the crows will pick them up. So it's best for me to get them down there about 1 inch deep. If you're having trouble with crows, I can tell you a way that has helped me take care of them. You have to get out there and lay in wait for one of them and take him out of the herd. Once you get him, stick your stick up in your garden and tie him onto that stick. That has worked for me every time. If I can take one of them and tie him on a stick right there next to the garden, the rest of them crows, they won't come around. It works. I'm just a little bit concerned about this because I didn't get this clover right in here turned real deep. And I've got a lot of it up towards the top of the soil. I'm a little bit worried about that. I'm worried about my seed being able to sprout and come through this clover. We'll find out. This is a first for me using this clover. And it's going to work fine over there where I could get in with the tractor and turn it real deep. But over here, I couldn't do that. I ran the tractor through here, but I didn't get the clover turned as deep as I needed to. And the garden tiller has pulled a lot of it back up to the top. It's chopped up, and it's going to make a fine like mulch. But I'm a little worried about my seed coming through it. Time will tell. We'll go back in here and shop, and I'll show you that thing that I was talking about on the beginning. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. It sure was fun to make. Anytime I can get in the garden, it's just an enjoyment. So this here, what I was showing you on the beginning, this is a garden planter. Now it's made by Clyde's Garden Planter. I don't really know where all sells this. This one came from Baker's Creek Heirloom Seed. And I think you can get online and order one of these online. My wife picked this one up for me. She was out that way on a trip a couple years ago, and she picked this one up. But this is perfect for even seasoned gardeners. I found it to be real accurate, that I don't think I would have lost anything if I would have followed this guide. Now, some of my plants I start at little different times. We're kind of used to when to plant and stuff here in our zone because we've gardened here all of our life. In my opinion, this would make a good guide for a new gardener. What you do is wherever you're located at, you look up your average first frost and your average last frost. And that's what you go by. This has a red line. You just set it for your average frost dates. And then you can look up over here what you're planting. It has onions, tomatoes, peppers, a lot of the real common plants that you're going to be planting. It'll tell you when to start them indoors and when to set them out into the field. So it's a real good tool for a beginning gardener. And like I said, it's even good for an experienced gardener. If you have any questions or sometimes I think, well, is it time to plant this? Even though I've planted it for 20 years, I still think, is it time to plant this? And I can look at this and it'll just reassure you. But anyway, for the things we have coming, I feel like we need to get prepared to learn how to garden. So I hope this helps somebody. I thank you for watching. I pray God blesses you, and I'll see you in the next one.